Occupational therapy is an art and a science that deals with targeting people's everyday occupations like self-care, work, play, social participation, and leisure. We basically help people with disabilities or people with special needs. Like for example, in my setting, in the pediatric setting, we deal with kids with autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, and our goal is to help them live independent and meaningful lives. As a student, back in high school, I attended the career talk. So the common career that everyone wanted was teaching, preschool teaching. And by chance, one of the speakers was an occupational therapist. So it got me interested, and eventually I signed up to be an occupational therapist in UP Manila. An everyday setting would be mainly we see kids on a one-on-one basis every hour, which is actually not enough, but we try to accommodate as many kids as we can. So usually the kids come in with their caregivers, usually their parents or their yayas, and then depending on the goals of the parents. So some parents will say their goal is managing behaviors in order to do self-care or managing behaviors in order to improve performance in school. We'll simulate the school setting or the home setting and then target the skills individually. So for example, some of the kids, most of them cannot participate actively in school because of their poor social skills or because they have aggressive behaviors. So the parents come to us so that we can educate them and the school on how to deal with these behaviors. So sometimes we give them a lot of exercises and behavior management techniques. Well, basically, there are only around 3,000 occupational therapists who are licensed every year. However, the problem is that maybe around half or more than half of them leave the country to seek work abroad. So right now, there's a statistic that around 1 out of maybe 100, 150 kids are diagnosed with ADHD or autism every day. So that means that the population of children who are in need of our services greatly outnumber the available therapists here in our country. So right now, in order to get a schedule with an occupational therapist, it will take you maybe 6 to 9 months. And by that time, the kids have already grown up without the services that they require. So usually, they don't receive the guidance that most kids with autism will need, like structure in their daily lives, management of behaviors, and being able to just do their everyday activities independently. We wish that more people will learn about occupational therapy and want to become occupational therapists because the need is very great in our country. Aside from that, we wish that people will have a better understanding of the needs of these kids who we teach, and also that their families will be given the support that they need in order to give their children the best lives that they can lead. Because most of the time, it's not really an innate disability within the child. Most of the time, it's an environmental disability or a social disability wherein the reason the child cannot perform in school is because the expectations of the school do not cater to the needs of every child. So as an occupational therapist, we advocate that schools, community, families try to make themselves more open to persons with disabilities so that we can all participate actively and contribute to society.